Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. कौन बात कर रहा है? एलिया.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you, Elia?
Fine, ma'am.
Good.
Ma'am, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, let's see. Hello, Nashra.
Assalamualaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hello, Nawab.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Good.
Good, great. Hello, Amna.
Assalamualaikum, ma'am. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm fine. Hello, Nimra.
Assalamualaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to share the screen with you. This is page 53. Okay. Okay, so we are talking about chapter number 3, right? So this is about electricity and magnetism. So you know there's a relation between electricity and magnetism. You're already familiar with this, so we are going to discuss some of these concepts. So we do know what magnets are, and we also know we are also familiar with the concept of poles, right? So what are poles? Yes. What are poles? Magnetic poles. Yes.
Ma'am, two ends of a magnet. Like
Achha.
one is North Pole and other is South Pole.
Words. Who is this speaking?
Ma'am, Amna.
Amna. Yes, that's right. So in magnets, we have two poles. We have a north pole and we have a south pole. And even, you know, the children play with magnets. It's very fascinating. We use magnets to put things on the fridge. We sometimes have notice boards that use magnets. So it's a very practical concept. It's a very basic concept, very important concept. Plus, all through history, we have had magnets. So we have electromagnetic magnets we have that are made temporarily, and then we have permanent magnets and all that. So a very simple example is something like a bar. You will see that when you take this bar around something made of iron, for example, like common pins or so on, they will stick to the ends of this magnet, right? So also children play with the magnets and coins, and you can put a coin on a surface and you can put a magnet underneath and you will see that the coin will move. So they're very simple but nice techniques, tricks actually that can be done with these magnets. So every magnet has the poles. You can see one pole here and the other pole here, and the line that's passing through these poles is known as the magnetic axis. And again, the pole that is pointing towards the north is called the north-seeking pole, and the pole that is pointing towards the south is known as the south-seeking pole. Okay. We are all familiar with this. There's nothing strange about it. We can symbolically represent them by S and N. And we know that, again, if we bring North Pole near a South Pole, there will be an attraction. And we know that like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. So this is attraction and this is repulsion. So this is again an important concept with regards to magnetism. Again, you can see this in these diagrams. You can see, for example, these are opposite poles, therefore they are attracting each other. These are similar poles, and therefore they are repelling each other. So you can see this. Again, just like we had the concept of electric field, we also have the concept of a magnetic field. So magnetic field is the region around the magnet where you can feel the strength of this field, and therefore this field has a certain strength and it has a certain direction. Again, it can be represented with the help of lines, just like we talked about the electric fields, right? And we had certain conventions in the electric field. In the electric field, the conventions are regarding the positive and the negative charges. In the magnetic field, the conventions are regarding the north poles and the south poles. So the lines always begin at the north pole and they point towards the south pole, or they end at the south poles. Also, these lines never cross or split each other. And if you have more lines together at a place, it means it's a stronger field. And if the separation between the lines is large, it means it's a weaker field. And therefore another magnet placed in that field will experience a force in a direction which is tangential to the field at that point. So we can do small experiments to map. A compass is a very small and a very cheap thing that you can use. It's just a needle basically that based on the concept of magnetism, and if you place it anywhere, you will see that it will always orient itself towards the north. So you can take a bar magnet, for example, and you can place a compass, and you will see that as you move the compass along from N towards S, you will see the needle's direction will change. And if you plot these points, you will get the directions of the magnetic field, and you can plot them in this way. And you will see that these lines are going from the north towards the south, and also at the north, you will see that they are going out of the north and they're going towards the south. Again, you can see different arrangements, and please try to understand this. Like, this can also be a question for you, for example, to draw the field around magnets in different positions. You will see that the difference between these two figures is, in this case, like poles, north poles are towards each other, and you will see that the direction of the direction and the nature of these lines of force has changed, whereas when the south and the north are facing each other, you have a different mapping of these lines of forces. So this also helps understand the concept of magnetism. Another important concept is that whenever you have an electric current, as we studied in the previous classes, is the flow of charge, right? So whenever you have electric current flowing through a wire, you will see that magnetism is produced around the region over there. So for example, you can see this is an example of current in a straight wire. In this case, the field lines are circular and are centered on the wire. So this is a circuit where you have a battery and you have a certain current I flowing through this wire. And whenever you, for example, place a compass here and you draw the lines of force, you will see that you will observe there are circular lines of force in a specific direction. So these are the points that show you information about these lines of force. These are circular and are centered on the wire. The strength of the magnetic field decreases as we move away from the wire. Of course, it's stronger near the wire, and as we move away, it becomes weaker and eventually it disappears, right? The direction of the magnetic field depends on the direction of the current, and therefore if you change the direction of the current, the direction of the magnetic field will also change. And the strength of the magnetic field is proportional to the magnitude of the current. So these are some important rules about these. Again, in order to find the direction, there's a rule that we know as the right hand rule. And in this case, when you hold a wire with your right hand and you curl your, for example, you put your thumb towards the direction of the current, the curling direction of your fingers will represent the direction of the lines of magnetic force. So you can see these two cases. You have current going downwards, your thumb is downwards, and your fingers are curling in a clockwise direction. In the second case, you see the current is going upwards, so your thumb is upwards and your fingers are curling in the counterclockwise direction. So these are two examples, and remember, it's always done with the right hand. Again, if you have a loop, a coil of wire, you know that in many electrical circuits, we have coil, different arrangements of current in the form of a current flowing through a coil. And if it's a coil, a circular loop, if current is flowing in a circular loop, you would see how the magnetic lines of force or the magnetic field acts in that case, okay? And here you can see that the magnetic field direction is in the coil center. So this leads us to the concept of electromagnet. So when you pass electricity through a coil and you place let's say a bar of iron in the center, you will see that it will become magnetized. So these are known as electromagnets, right? So for example, we have solenoids, which are coils of wire, and these are known as electromagnets because the magnetic field is present only as long as the current is flowing. So you can note this here, you can study it again. So for example, if you fill it with a ferromagnetic material, the iron core, for example, is magnetized by the field due to the current of the coil, and the resultant field is up to 1,000 times stronger than that in the coil without an iron core. So it has very important applications. You have simple applications in your home and your everyday life. Here you can see there's a representation of an electromagnet in a circuit. Also the bell that we have, the electric bell works on this principle where you have a coil, a solenoid, and then you see that when the current flows, this field is created, it gets magnetized and current flows in the circuit and you hear the sound. And then when this current does not flow, the circuit is broken and you don't hear the sound. So it is the magnetization and the demagnetization of the electromagnet that leads to the electric bell functioning. There are many other applications that you have in everyday life. So here we have completed chapter number 3. Now I'll go back to some important concepts and we will use these concepts to solve some problems. So I would like you to come to page 40. Okay. Okay, so this is page 40. And I would like you to solve example number 2, and then we will discuss it, and I will give you points for this. So I leave you with this problem, and meanwhile, I will take your attendance, okay? So here we go. Okay. So let's see, Ahmad Hassan is not here. Fahad bin Ahmer is not here. Aisha is not here. Musa is not here. Mahnur is not with us. आज क्या बात है भाई? Nimra. Hello, Nimra, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sayyid Azad Asad. Muhammad Ahmed Farooq. Muhammad Awais Khabar Gill. Laiba.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Laiba is there. Sahib Khan is not with us. Elia Shafkat.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम साहेब प्रेजेंट
कहाँ है साहिब? अच्छा
जी
ठीक है. Amna Maham.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Nashra.
Present, ma'am.
Aruba. Aruba. Aruba, unmute your mic, please. Are you there? Okay. Halima. Nawab Sadiq.
प्रेजेंट मैम
Yes. Sumavi Tahir. No. Saul Rafaqat. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay, so let's come back to the problem we were solving and let's look at it. So what is the problem? Let's discuss this. Now, problem solving is like a game. It's very interesting and in fact, it gives you a sense of confidence and achievement because you have to apply the concepts and the formulas that you know already, that you've studied, right? The important part of problem solving, the first step is to read the problem and understand the problem. This is the most important part of the problem solving because if you try to save time by skipping through the reading part, you might actually make a mistake even though you know your concepts and you know your formulas because understanding the problem is very important, and you just don't assume what is being asked. And especially for an exam, there might be you might assume something and they might have asked another thing, and therefore you might end up getting a wrong answer and losing your marks, even though you know the concepts and the formula. So it's very important to understand. So the problem in this case is, let us calculate the circuit current. So we have to calculate the current, which is we represent by capital I, and the circuit current is represented by IC, right? This is a subscript, right? And the current through and voltage through each component we will have to find, for example, the current I1, I2, and so on, however we name them, and the voltage V1, V2, however we name them according to the components in the circuit, which is shown in the figure below. Okay, so when we come here, this is the circuit. So we see that we have various components in this circuit, and we can start by finding the total resistance of the circuit, right? So in this case, for example, how do we find the total resistance? Who can explain this? Although the answer is there, but who can explain this?
Ma'am, Elia this side.
Elia, yes, Elia.
मैम ये पैरेलल है ना, जैसे कि ये दोनों रेजिस्टेंस पैरेलल हैं एक दूसरे के।
कौन से दोनों
तो
पैरेलल हैं?
ये 5 ये
5 कौन सा वाला? ये वाला या ये वाला?
नो मैम, ये पैरेलल है, ये वो तो दूसरा नहीं, ये पैरेलल में हम जा रहे हैं।
कौन से वाले? मुझे
ऊपर नीचे,
पहला, दूसरा, तीसरा, ऊपर नीचे।
5 and 10।
ओके, सो दिस पार्ट ऑफ द सर्किट इज अ पैरेलल सर्किट, ठीक है? तो पहले हम इसको सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, ठीक है? इसको हमें दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा, वी कैन नॉट डू इट ऑल टुगेदर, बिकॉज़ दिस पार्ट ऑफ द सर्किट इज पैरेलल, एंड देन उसके बाद हम आगे चलेंगे। सो पैरेलल वाले पार्ट को हमने पहले सॉल्व किया, एंड वी यूज द फॉर्मूला। क्या था फॉर्मूला एरिया?
मैम 1 divided by RC is equal 1 divided by R1 plus 1 divided by R2।
ठीक है, तो आपने वैल्यूज पुट की, एक 5 है, एक 10 है, आपने सॉल्व किया, एंड दिस इज योर आंसर फॉर दिस पार्ट ऑफ द सर्किट। ओके,
यस मैम,
ठीक हो गया। चलें जी, अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप बताएं।
आगे हमने वोल्ट की वैल्यू लेंगे और ये रेजिस्टेंस की वैल्यू लेंगे।
एक मिनट ठहरो। ओके, ओके, फाइन। मेरे ख्याल में अभी हमने टोटल रेजिस्टेंस नहीं कैलकुलेट की है ना? अभी हमने टोटल नहीं ना कैलकुलेट की, एलिया?
मैम सी आर तो टोटल में जाता है ना, वो दोनों सम।
बेटा इन्होंने सी यूज किया, मेरे ख्याल में अभी सी नहीं यूज करना चाहिए था, क्योंकि अभी सारे रेजिस्टेंस तो शामिल नहीं हुए इसमें। कोई और सिंबल हमें यूज, अभी दो शामिल हुए ना। देखो, we have this is let's say R1, we have this is let's say R2, this is let's say R3। तो हमने दो का भी रिजल्टेंट निकाला है, अभी तीसरा तो रहता है, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि RC इसमें यूज करना चाहिए था। ऑल्दो ठीक है, फॉर्मूला में हमारे पास RC आता है, लेकिन इस वक्त ये टोटल नहीं है। लेट्स बी क्लियर अबाउट दिस, ठीक है?
यस मैम।
तो नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होगा? अब टोटल रेजिस्टेंस कितनी है सर्किट में? चलो एलिया को मैं एक पॉइंट, wait, let me give 1 point to Elia, someone else can also answer it if they want to। the next step क्या होना चाहिए हमारे पास?
Ma'am, next step will be to add the resistance like 3.33 that has been calculated by Elia, and then we will have another resistance 5 ohm we will add both resistance 1 and resistance 2 and find the total resistance as 8.33 ohm.
ठीक है. Acha, Amna Maham, that was good. That was great. So actually, please don't get confused again. This is RC. RC, we understand it to be the total circuit resistance, but no, in this case, I would like to stress again. In this case, although we are using the formula for RC, but we have yet only calculated the resultant of these two resistors which were in parallel. And when we have calculated this, we have to go to the next step to include the third one. So we replace this box with the result, which is 3.3 ohms. So this becomes 3.3 ohms here. And then the second resist, the third one, which is R3 is here. इसको हम लोग कुछ और symbol दे दें. क्या symbol देना चाहिए? RC की बजाय इसको कुछ और दे देते हैं symbol. What symbol can we give here? Maybe R.
R1 कह सकते हैं.
नहीं 1 2 3 इस तरह कहती है ना, आपको सिर्फ समझाने के लिए, right? So let's say
RD लिख दें.
D क्या है?
मैम C के बाद D.
नहीं बेटा, P कर दे for the parallel circuit. ठीक है?
Yes ma'am.
Yes ma'am, that's better.
ये सिर्फ समझाने के लिए, इसका कोई खास रूल नहीं है. Okay, so this is the result of the parallel circuit and this was already there. और अब हमारा circuit किस तरह का बन गया? What kind of a circuit is this, Amna? Amna, what kind of a circuit is this?
Ma'am, series.
This is a series circuit. And what's the formula for the resultant of the resistances in a series circuit? The formula is from the previous, classes and also from the previous pages, we can see the formula, which is in a series circuit. This is the formula for parallel circuit, right? The formula for series circuit is?
Ma'am, R1 is equals to R2.
R1 is equal to R2. Hey, please let Amna complete the question. Yes, Amna, what is the formula for the resultant of the resistances in a series circuit?
RC is equals to R1 and plus R2 and so on.
Plus R2 plus R3, jitni bhi resistance in the circuit, right? Okay, so in this case, it will be RC is equal to RP plus R3, right? According to the labeling, according to the labeling that we have used. Okay, you can use whatever labeling you use. So यहाँ पे R1 R2 लिखा हुआ है. Again मैंने different use किया because मैंने इनको पहले इसको R1 R2 कह दिया था. ठीक है ना? So don't confuse this. I'm just explaining this. Okay. So यहाँ पे we get the answer which is 8.33. So in दोनों को हमने, this is a series combination of resistances and this can now be replaced by the result which we have found to be 8.33 ohm. ये हमारा आंसर है for the resultant resistance in the circuit. तो उन्होंने क्या पूछा है हमें? Find the current and the voltage across each component plus find the total current in the circuit. So Amna, you get 1 point. Now another student can help us solve the next part. Yes, please. Who would like to go with this to the next part? Next part कौन करेगा? Although you can see the answers, but it's important to understand them so that you can later on solve problems similar to this or slightly different than this. ठीक है ना? So understanding, we are explaining these problems and it's important to explain them and understand them, and so that we can then go further. So what will be the next step? Who will take us through the next step? Yes?
मैम करंट फाइंड करेंगे अब नेक्स्ट स्टेप में.
आमना बोल रही है. हाँ जी, करंट फाइंड. कौन सा वाला करंट? विच करंट डू यू वांट टू फाइंड?
मैम वो जो फॉर्मूला में V is equals to IR का फॉर्मूला उसे रिवर्स करके I is equals to V over R करेंगे.
Okay, so V is equal to IR को यूज करके I is equal to V over R. तो ये यहाँ पे V कितना है? I is equal to V is कितना है?
5.
ये कौन बोल रहा है?
South of perfect.
जी, V कितना है?
5.
और I कितना है? वो सॉरी, R कितना है?
और मैम ये जो कैलकुलेट किया टोटल रेजिस्टेंस हमने,
बोलो ना कितना है?
ये 8.33 ओम.
ठीक है. So V, this is V, okay, and this is R. RC, और ये टोटल हमें सर्किट करंट दे देगा. सो IC इज इक्वल टू VC ओवर RC एंड दिस इज इक्वल टू 5 वोल्ट डिवाइडेड बाय 8.33 ohm, and you can calculate this value. It's also written over here. So हमने ये वाला पार्ट कर लिया, ये जो पार्ट था ये वाला हो गया. साउल रिफाकत, आप अगला स्टेप बताओ. फिर आपको पॉइंट दूंगी, आप अगला स्टेप बताओगे तो. यस साउल, व्हाट्स द नेक्स्ट स्टेप?
मैम आगे मैम वो क्या फाइंड करना है वो थोड़ा सा ऊपर कर दें मैम.
मैं क्यों ऊपर करूं भाई, तुम खुद सोचो. तुम्हारे सामने ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये देखो, दिस इज योर प्रॉब्लम. इससे आप मुझे देख के बताओ, आपके पास जितनी इंफॉर्मेशन अब तक, क्या करना है आप सॉल्यूशंस को ना याद करने की कोशिश किया करो, आप समझ के लॉजिक के साथ चला करो, राइट? सॉल्यूशन याद करना विल नॉट हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम. सो देयरफॉर आप आगे बताओ क्या करना है.
आगे मैम ये सिंगल रेजिस्टर फाइंड करेंगे.
क्या करेंगे? नहीं, देखो ये प्रॉब्लम है, दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम. इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए हमने पहले क्या किया, वी हैड टू फाइंड द रेजिस्टेंस. फाइंड करेंगे तो हम ये ओहम लॉ यूज करेंगे और फिर हम करंट फाइंड करेंगे ना. तो रेजिस्टेंस फाइंड करने के लिए वी हैड टू वर्क इन 2 स्टेप्स, बिकॉज हमारा सर्किट जो है दिस इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ पैरेलल एंड सीरीज. तो पहले पैरेलल वाला पार्ट हमने सॉल्व किया, फिर सीरीज वाला पार्ट सॉल्व किया, फिर वी गॉट द टोटल रेजिस्टेंस, द सर्किट रेजिस्टेंस. ठीक है. उसके बाद द नेक्स्ट स्टेप वाज कि वी नाउ हैड द वैल्यूज ऑफ द रेजिस्टेंस एंड द वोल्टेज एंड वी कुड फाइंड द सर्किट करंट. ये पहला पार्ट हो गया है. साउल, दूसरा पार्ट क्या है इस प्रॉब्लम का? व्हाट इज द सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम?
वोल्टेज निकालनी है अक्रॉस ईच कंपोनेंट इन द सर्किट.
वोल्टेज निकालनी है क्रॉस ईच कंपोनेंट इन द सर्किट, व्हिच मींस इस रेजिस्टर में वोल्टेज कौन सी है? V1. इस रेजिस्टर में वोल्टेज कौन सी है? दिस इज V2. इस रेजिस्टेंस में वोल्टेज कौन सी है? दिस इज V3. और कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंगली करंट भी निकालना है, व्हिच इज I1, I2 एंड I3. सो साउल, इसको कैसे करेंगे हम? ठीक है, ये निकालना, अब कैसे करना है? व्हाट्स योर आइडिया?
मैम ये फार्मूला V इज इक्वल IR उससे ही निकाल लेंगे.
ओम्स लॉ यूज होगा. इट्स अ वेरी सिंपल फार्मूला, लेकिन उसको कैसे अप्लाई करेंगे?
मैम ये रेजिस्टेंस इसमें दी हुई है, ये 5 और 10, हम इसको निकाल लेंगे और इसके अंदर जो एक वोल्टेज भी हमारे पास होगी.
नहीं साउल, हमें पूरे स्टेप्स बताओ, फिर आपको पॉइंट मिलेगा. ऐसे नहीं मिलेगा, बताओ
मैम. V इज इक्वल IR वाला फार्मूला लगाएंगे मैम.
कहाँ पे लगाना है, किधर लगाना है?
ये मैम ये वोल्टेज निकालने के लिए
अक्रॉस ईच
कंपोनेंट. ये इधर ये V1, V2, I1, I2 और ये I3.
इस सारे सर्किट को लगाना है फॉर्मूला, इसको सारे को लगाना है, ऐसे इसको लगाना है.
मैम मैं थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया.
कंफ्यूज हो गए हो, मैं देख रही हूँ. ठीक है, ओके. सो अब हम ऐसा करते हैं, लेट्स गो फर्दर. एक मिनट. अच्छा, ओके. सो इसको पता क्या करना है? Again we will have to work separately with the parallel part of the circuit and the series part of the circuit. ठीक है. इसके लिए हमें ऐसा करना पड़ेगा कि we will have to पहले इस वाले पार्ट को सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. ठीक है, ठीक है. अच्छा, इसमें अगर हम ये वाली फिगर को देखें तो करंट हमारे पास IC है. IC जा रहा है इसमें से, तो इट मींस R3 में से कितना करंट गुजर रहा है? अभी आपको ये रूल्स याद करने पड़ेंगे. ये कौन से पेज पे रूल्स हैं? ट्राई टू, मुझे पेज बताओ, कौन से पेज वाले रूल्स अब हमने यूज करने हैं? I would like you guys to remember the rules that I am talking about. कौन से रूल्स इसमें एप्लीकेबल हैं, कौन से पेज पे हैं? Can you point that out? मैंने आपको पहले डिस्कस किया था.
मैम शायद मुझे याद है, लेकिन पक्का नहीं पता, लेकिन मैं बता रहा हूँ सीरीज में हम करंट को सेम रखते हैं, करंट सेम रहता है, और पैरेलल में वोल्टेज सेम होता है।
गुड एलिया, ओके वेरी गुड। सो दीज आर द रूल्स वी आर गोइंग टू यूज। ये इंपॉर्टेंट रूल्स हैं, और ये कहाँ है ये रूल्स? ये आपके पेज 37 में है, आप जाके देख लीजिएगा, ठीक है। ओके, सो लेट्स यूज दोज रूल्स एंड हम दोबारा इधर आते हैं यहाँ पे। सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दीज रूल्स, सीरीज में करंट जो है वो सेम रहता है, ये वाला रूल यूज करते हैं, ठीक है। सो इट मींस द करंट हेयर, यहाँ पे हमने इसको P कहा था ना, तो यहाँ पे जो करंट है ये, और यहाँ पे जो करंट है I3, दीज आर इक्वल टू IC, है ना? इज दैट करेक्ट? सो IC is equal to IP is equal to I3, okay? So this means हमने क्या निकाल लिया? I3 निकल आया ना? So I3 is equal to IC. IC कितना था?
मैम 8.33।
ये कौन बोल रहा है? गलत बताया आपने, ये कौन बोला है अभी?
एलिया मैम।
एलिया बेटा, करंट नहीं था, वो रेजिस्टेंस थी।
अच्छा, करंट निकालना, ओके ओके ओके।
हाँ, तो करंट की बात कर रहे हैं ना हम, रेजिस्टेंस तो हो चुकी है। द करंट वाज कितना था? करंट हमने निकाला IC, ओम्स लॉ अप्लाई करके। हाँ, दोगे क्या?
मेरे से पूछ रहे हैं आप?
जी, आप सबसे ही पूछ रहे हैं, जो मर्जी बता दे।
यस मैम, पूछा।
अभी हमने जब 5 डिवाइड बाय 8.33 किया था, तो आंसर वाज 0.6 एम्पियर। यही था आंसर। ठीक है, जो पीछे हमने अभी काम किया था ना, जो मैंने मिटा दिया, वो 0.6 एम्पियर था। इट मींस I3 निकल आया है हमारे पास। ओके,
यस मैम।
समझ आ रही? सबको समझ आ रही है ना? I3 निकल आया है, और उसके बाद अब हमने अगला स्टेप, अब IP निकालना है। अब IP निकालने के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? अब इसमें हम दो काम कर सकते हैं। देखो, हमारे पास फॉर दिस रजिस्टर वी हैव द वैल्यू ऑफ R3, वी हैव द वैल्यू ऑफ I3, तो हम V3 भी निकाल सकते हैं। सो V3 इज इक्वल टू I3। आपने देखना होता है आपके पास क्या इंफॉर्मेशन है और क्या आपको चाहिए और कैसे आप, इट्स लाइक अ गेम, यू जस्ट प्ले विद इट, ओके। सो I3 हमारे पास है, R3 है, हम V3 निकाल सकते हैं। सो I3 इज 0.6 amperes multiply by R3 कितना है? This is 5 ohms and the answer comes out to be 3 volts. अब ये वाला पार्ट सॉल्व हो गया, राइट? सो वी हैव I3 भी हो गया, V3 भी हो गया, और V3 कितना है? 3 volts. So यहाँ पे the current is equal to 0.6 amperes and the voltage is equal to कितना? 3 volts. ये वाला पूरा सॉल्व हो गया। अब ये 1 और 2 रह गए। इज दैट क्लियर?
यस मैम।
अब अगला स्टेप सोचो, जो बताएगा उसको पॉइंट मिलेगा। मीनवाइल आई वुड लाइक टू मेक एन अनाउंसमेंट। एक तो ये बात है कि यू नो कि योर मिड टर्म इज कमिंग, है ना? पता है ना आप लोगों को?
यस मैम।
आप लोगों ने तैयारी कर ली है उसकी? Have you prepared for it? कब है मिड टर्म?
14th April.
Can you see the schedule? This is also on Moodle. I have been discussing it since the first day of class, है ना? मैंने आपको ये dates दी हुई हैं. So when you look at this, this is the assessment plan that we are following. These are all your deadlines. and it is on Moodle. It is in the recording. We have been talking about it. So yahan pe you can see that we have done this and we've done this. And the midterm is on 14th April, which is on Wednesday. So this is your homework already. You should have been preparing for it. So prepare chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay, and I also asked you that you have to show me the working of I will give you this exam on Moodle, like we have been doing before, but you are only allowed one attempt. This will take place during class time. Class, you will show the working. So you should only have blank pages, a pen, and a calculator. You're not allowed to use any online calculator. Okay, so and you will show me that you don't have any material around you, and you will have blank pages, a pen, and your calculator, and you will solve them. And on these blank pages, write your name and roll number and number the pages, and then you will scan them and upload them on Moodle also. Okay, so these are the instructions for the exam. Plus, you will join me on a Zoom meeting during the exam with your camera on so that I can see what you're doing. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so please prepare properly so that I'm sure you can do a good exam. So chapter 1 already you've done 2 assessments from chapter 1. We have added chapter 2 to this, and we've also completed all of this. You please revise it, practice it, and remember that get some rest before the exam. Don't try to cram. You will get confused if you cram. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
मैम इसका भी टाइमिंग लाइक प्रीवियस असाइनमेंट की तरह ही होगा, जैसे 1 घंटा आपने दिया था हमें?
अच्छा देखो, असाइनमेंट में मैंने आपसे स्कैन भी नहीं मांगा था और मैंने जूम वो कैमरा भी नहीं ऑन करवाया था. इस दफा ये 2 काम करने हैं आपने, ठीक है? और ड्यूरिंग क्लास टाइम होगा. 1 घंटे का एग्जाम है.
ओके,
इज दैट क्लियर? अच्छा जी. So अब हम we come back to our problem. अब next step कौन बताएगा अब क्या करना है? काफी कुछ कर लिया है हमने. Who will take us through the next step? Yes. Yes, bolo. Please practice this at home. We've done most of the problem, but then there is still some, and you have to actually close your book, write the problem in your paper or register, and then solve it yourself. When you're able to solve it yourself, then it means that you have been able to understand it. Okay, so we have solved for R3 we've solved this part, right? We have solved this part. Now let us solve this part. Okay, so if we call this part P, so we have IP. What will be VP? What will be the voltage in this part? Now remember that in a series circuit the voltage is not the same, hai na? Again, for the series circuit the current is the same. The current here and the current here is the same. Please go back a few pages and you can look at those rules. For a series circuit, the voltage is VC is equal to V1 plus V2. In this case, for the series circuit, the VC is equal to VP plus V3 according to the numbering that or the naming convention that we've used. Okay, so then you can find VP is equal to VC minus V3. So I will leave it here because the meeting is going to end. Please complete this problem at home. Okay, and remember your preparation for the midterm examination. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take care.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Okay, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.
Allah Hafiz. You can see the formula I've written, right?